Yo, what's going on guys? I hope you're well and safe. It's Ali here from the Source Park. We're back for another BMX tutorial, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to do a fakie. So the first thing I'm going to cover is just what a fakie actually is. So a fakie is just riding backwards. Just riding backwards on your bike. It's the same for a skateboard. I'm pretty sure it's the same for scooters. I'm not really sure about rollerblades, but it just means going backwards. So to try a fakie, you're going to need to learn how to actually get into it. So how to start rolling backwards. There's hundreds of ways that you can get into fakies, but I'm just going to show you two today because I think these are like the most common when you're just starting to learn them. So the first one I'm going to show you, which I think is the easiest way out of all the ways to do it, is to ride up something that's sloped. That's why I've come here to this car park, because if you can see behind me, there's kind of like a grass bank. So it's almost like a little ramp. So I'm going to be using that to ride up and go back down. So for this method, you're going to need something slanted. It can either be your driveway, or if you've got a park near your house, or I don't know, there just might be like a weird bit of concrete that's slanted on your road. Just keep an eye out for things that you can try fakies on. Maybe something you can try before you actually go straight in and doing the fakie and attempting it is just get comfortable with pedaling backwards. So even though you're going to be riding forwards, just get used to moving your legs backwards. Just ride around wherever you are and pedal your legs backwards so you can get comfortable with that motion. For now, I'm only going to concentrate on the going backwards part. I'm not going to tell you how to get out of it. We're going to save that for a little bit later. So whatever setup you have, whatever bank or slope you found, you want to be riding up to it with your pedals level. Don't go too fast, because otherwise you're going to end up riding over the obstacle that you're trying to fakie on. You just want to go fast enough so you go halfway up it, and then that's going to give you the momentum to start going backwards. So you want to ride up the obstacle, get about halfway up it, just make sure both your wheels are on it. And then when you start to come to a standstill and you're about to start rolling backwards, that's when you start pedaling backwards. The first few times you try this, it's going to be really hard, like so hard. It's going to feel almost impossible. But just like with everything else, practice makes perfect. When you're doing a fakie on like a bank or like a slope or something, sometimes it really helps to do like a little hop before you start going into the fakie, because otherwise you have to kind of hold your balance for a few seconds before you start going backwards. So all you're going to want to concentrate on now, this is your first time trying fakies. Like I said, you're not going to just start rolling back and turn out of it straight away. Just concentrate on pedaling backwards and just seeing how far you can go. As you're pedaling backwards, you're going to feel some pedal pressure, which is going to help you control the bike. So your aim for now is just see how far back you can go, and I guess like see how straight you can go. See if you can like balance yourself out so you're going in a nice straight line. Okay, so method number 2 for going backwards. This one's a little bit harder, but it's still quite easy. That is riding into like a wall or just any type of object where you can wedge your front wheel into it and then catapult yourself back to give you speed to pedal backwards. I went over doing this on the bunny hop tutorial, so if you need some more tips on that, you can go back and watch that one. So once you've found the obstacle that you're going to use, ride up to it, but not with too much speed, okay? You don't want to go blasting into a wall. Just go nice and slow, and then when you approach the obstacle, shove all your weight forward. So you're going to hit the wall or whatever you're using, and your back wheel is going to come up into the air. So then with that, while you're forward and your back wheel's in the air, you're going to use all of your force to shoot back. As your back wheel comes back down, you're going to go throw all of your weight backwards, and that's going to shoot you off the wall. But you need to be ready, you need to be pedaling backwards immediately, and that's going to help you start doing a fakie. And just like with the other method, it's one of those things, it's going to feel really hard at first, but just keep doing them over and over again. See how far you can get and how straight you can do them. If you've got a free coaster, all of these tips still apply to you. You can still use these methods to try fakies, but the only difference is you're not going to be pedaling backwards. So after you've come off the wall or the bank or whatever you're using, you're just going to be keeping your pedals level the whole time. Right, so now you've gotten good at pedaling backwards and you can fakie comfortably. Now you need to learn how to get out of it so you can roll away. There's so many ways that you can get out of fakies, but I'm just going to show you the most common, which is just pivoting out, just turning your wheel and turning out of it. Once you're rolling back in the fakie and you're ready to turn out, you need to know first which way you're going to be turning. So normally, if you have your right foot forward, you end up turning to the left. or if you have your left foot forward, you end up turning to the right. So something you need to understand when you're doing a fakie is when you're turning out, whatever way you turn your handlebars, the bike's going to go the opposite direction. So if you're going to turn them to the left, your bike's going to start turning to the right, and if you turn them to the right, then your bike's going to start turning to the left. So bear that in mind because it can get quite confusing. So this is going to be different whether you have brakes or not. So I'm going to tell you how I do it now without brakes, and then I'll tell you how to do it with brakes. It's not that different, but it is different. So you're going to be going backwards doing your fakie, and then when you've come to the end of where you want to fakie to, or whatever you're doing, you want to start turning your handlebars, okay? So remember, like I said, you want to turn them the opposite direction. So I'm going to be turning mine to the right, and I'm going to be going around to the left. And once I've got a quarter of the way around to finish the turn, what I'm going to do is apply pedal pressure as I pull my wheel up. So I'm going to pull my wheel up and apply pedal pressure, which is going to help pull the front end up and complete the turn. And when I say pedal pressure, what I mean is as you're going backwards, you start pedaling forward, and that starts acting as a brake on your back wheel. I think when you're doing a fakie, you're supposed to use your strongest foot to apply the pedal pressure and turn out, but for some reason I just learnt with my opposite foot, so I turn out with them the opposite way. There's no wrong or right way of doing it, but I'm just letting you know most people will turn out with their stronger foot. I'm going to try and do a couple of examples of both ways in this video just so you can see. So I'll do a few right foot forward ones and a few left foot forward ones, but mainly left foot forward. And for people with a brake, it's exactly the same but without the pedal pressure. So you're going to be going backwards, turn whatever direction you need to turn, and as you get quarter of the way round, you just want to pull your wheel up, throw your weight round, and just squeeze your brake. So instead of using pedal pressure, you're just going to pull your brake and try and finish the turn. These are really, really tricky to get the hang of, but they're one of those things, once you've done a few of them, you kind of just get them, and then you'll just be doing them every go without even thinking about it. If you're struggling with the turn out of the fakies, there's another way you can actually land them without having to do the turn, but it doesn't always work. So as you're going backwards and you're starting to slow down, all you're going to do is just pedal forward. Just pedal forward. It's not going to look the best because you're just going to carry on going the way you started, but it's going to let you get out of the fakie without putting your foot down. I was going to show you guys how to 180 into the fakie as well, but I think I'm just going to save that for another video because a 180 is like just a whole other thing. And that's about it, I guess, guys. Another BMX tutorial in the bag. I hope this has helped you or given you some tips on your fakies. Just like I've said with all of the other tutorials, you're not going to get good at this stuff by not practicing it. So get out there and just get practicing. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you're staying safe.